Compliments of the season, everyone, and happy 2025 in advance. How you doing? Excited to be here. This is like the last conversation we're going to be having in 2024. Well, God is indeed faithful. We have had so many amazing conversations this year. A lot of conversations as gone through this SOP online conversation platform. And I believe that we have had an amazing time this year. We have learned a lot during the conversations. Okay, before I ask that question, I want to know where you're watching from. I want to see your favorite emoji. I want to know that you're with me this evening or morning or afternoon, depending where you're watching me from. So let us know. And I wanted to ask a question. Thank you so much, Cameron. Alfred, I can see you. Thank you so much. If you have been following us for this year, what has actually been your, will I say, your best SOP online conversation for this year? Which of the conversations do you say is like the one that impacted you the most for this year? Which conversation stood out for you in this year, 2024? Now, we had a lot of conversations in this year, but which of them stood out for you? Was it when we had the fatherhood marathon for fathers? Which conversation, the present factor in parenting with Paula Young? Which conversation was really amazing? I don't want to use the word mind blowing, but stood out for you? Was it when we had a conversation with Pastor Chima Ochemba, or the one we had with TJ Chunu? Which conversation, the one we're talking about self-care, which conversation actually was amazing for you? We've had so many conversations this year. The father-daughter bond, a lot of them, a lot of conversations. That was with Reverend Chima Ochemba. We also had, yeah, I'm trying to like read as many as we can. We also had Fathering the Digital Age by TJ Chunu. We had the one on self-care for fathers. We have Fathering the Art of Your Child by Pastor Alexandra Mushe. So many conversations this year. Maintaining a Healthy Lifestyle as a Father by Dr. Emmanuel Ape. It's like I'm just staying with the fathers. We had the Terrific Tools by Coach Laurie. We have had a lot this year. And I believe that it has been an amazing journey for us this year, an amazing journey because God has been faithful. We're here, we're standing. And because God has been faithful, what about connection, priority in parents we had with Pastor Choma Movie, the one we had with Haveres? Yes, our guest that was from Canada. Amazing conversation. So let's see how the year has been. You know, something about this year is that when we get to the end of the year, most of the times we try to reflect on how the year has been. We try to look at, okay, how the year for me. As a parent, you should be able to evaluate your year. How was your parenting? You can evaluate. Did I do well? Did I improve on myself? Is my relationship with my children, the connection, is it better? Have I moved from where I used to be? Am I a better parent? And most of the time, this evaluation, you can give yourself an evaluation, but you can also ask your children to give you an evaluation. So you can have a family meeting before the year is over and you get serious feedback from your family members, from your spouse, from your children. How did I fare in 2024? And when you do the such meetings, please don't be ready to lash back at them. You have to be composed. You have to be ready to hear a lot, and you have to be ready to receive the corrections. You have to be ready enough to receive the criticisms because you're going to make you better. So it's very important we do that. Evaluate our parenting journey. Evaluate where we are with our children as the year begins to come to an end. Now, today we're going to be talking a little bit about gratitude. Yes, a little bit about gratitude. I don't intend to stretch in this conversation because I know a lot of us, we have a lot of things to do. It's 30th of December, a lot of things to settle. So we're going to talk about gratitude. How has the year been? How grateful are you for where you are right now as a parent, as a spouse, as a career person? How grateful are you? Can you look back and say, indeed, I am grateful and I'm thankful. Gratefulness has to do with being thankful. being appreciative of where you are, understanding you by privilege. Because the truth is that if you look at your life today, there are a lot of people that didn't make it to January 30th, 2024. And you are here standing is enough reason to be grateful. A lot of people, their children, they can't find them. But you have your family probably complete with you. You have your children, you can see a significant improvement in their academics, significant improvement in your connection with them. You've seen yourself, even your children go through maybe health, go through trials, challenges, and you came out of it. Even if you're actually going through a challenge right now, you have found the strength to go through that challenge. It's enough reason to be grateful. There is always a reason to be grateful. And gratitude is one value that we must hold dear in our homes, that we must teach our children, because it's something or a value that we take them far. Our values define our behaviors. It defines our interactions with people, defines our attitude. When you have a grateful attitude, when you inculcate the value of gratitude as a parent and you teach your children to inculcate that same value, it affects the way they relate with people. It affects their attitude to situations and to things. So it's very important that we reflect on our parenting journey, reflect on our connection with our children, reflect on where we are today, and we become grateful. It's very important for every one of us. Now, when we talk about gratitude, it's the feeling of appreciation. It's a feeling of being thankful. Now, gratitude has to be a lifestyle. Gratitude is not just a one-off thing. So when you just say thank you, say, okay, I have incorporated the value of gratitude. No, it has to be a lifestyle. It's a mindset. It's something that you incorporate into your daily living. So gratitude is not a one-off thing. So, okay, but I appreciated them for that. So at least I have imbibed the value of gratitude. No. It has to be something that you do continuously, something that it becomes a part and parcel of your interactions with people, of your daily workings with people. Now, the truth is that it has been found, I'll go to a little of research. Now, gratitude has a way of affecting an individual holistically. Now, let me give you some research, some things about research, some researches that were carried out on gratitude. Now, it is said that adolescents who rate higher in Thanksgiving tend to be happier and more engaged with school compared to their less gratitude peers. That is research, that is science. Now, science even has proof that gratitude is a value that you must incorporate or teach your children, or even as a parent, is a value that you must carry out, that you must live by. Because it has awesome benefits. You can imagine adolescents that are more grateful than their peers, that they are more happier and they are more engaged in their school activities compared to their less grateful peers. So you see a reason why you need to teach your children to be grateful. Very important. Now, another research shows that children that incorporate the attitude or the value of gratitude tend to experience fewer depression symptoms and anxiety, and less likely to exhibit antisocial behaviors such as aggression. I am not just reading things, I am reading what science says, researches that have been carried out. So you can imagine what gratitude does for you. It helps to reduce the occurrence of depression as a parent and in the life of your children. Now, studies have also shown that when we express gratitude and receive thanks, the brain releases a surge of dopamine and serotonin, which are the feel-good hormones. So it makes you feel good. It makes you have a positive mindset to life. So when you release appreciation, when you are grateful for those things that are happening around you, it releases that feel-good hormones in your system, and you tend to feel happier, and you have enough energy boost to be able to go through the day, to be able to face your challenges, to be able to surmount every hurdle. Is it not worth it? So gratitude helps us to release dopamine and serotonin, which are the feel-good hormones in our systems. And it makes us have a positive outlook to life. So when you go through that little challenge, see yourself as, I may be here today, but the truth is that I'm alive. I am grateful. I am thankful for the little favors that people do or give to you, to your children. You teach them to be appreciated. You know, most of the times people tend to deviate from being thankful because they have the what's the word now? The entitlement mentality, feeling that I deserve this. You need to do this for me. This is where I should be. And the entitlement mentality can actually rob us of a lot of things, and even our children. So you must take yourself out and take your children out of the entitlement mentality. So when people do little things should be appreciated. Now, some people believe or think that the reason why I should appreciate someone is actually probably because the person met my need or did exactly what I wanted, or what they did is magnanimous, mighty. So that is when I should be grateful. No. For the little things that people do for you, you should appreciate. For the services that people render to you, as a parent, you should be appreciative, and you should teach your children to be appreciative. For example, somebody, you give your laundryman to do your laundry, and he brings your clothes to the house, and he gives you, yes, you paid for his services, but you can say thank you. Some people are like, I paid, but it doesn't take away the fact that you can be thankful for his services. Or you take your children out to eat, and after they pay for whatsoever they're going to eat, and it appreciates the waiter. Thank you. Simple. It teaches them to be grateful for little things and remove the entitlement mentality. You can pay your fare and you are chauffeured to a place and you pay your fare and you say thank you. It doesn't take anything away from us. Sincerely. It just releases, like we saw in the research, people that are grateful have a surge of the feel-good hormones. So you can't find them down. There's so much energy around them because they see every reason to be grateful and to be appreciated. Very important. We must teach our children and raise them to be grateful. Children that know how to say thank you. That's one of the magic words that you teach your children, to say thank you for little things. Thank you. For things that people do for them, that they feel that, for the little things around us, for the weather. You have a wonderful weather. You say, thank you, Lord, for the weather. The little significant things you see around us. You have a good friend. You say, thank you for friendship. Thank you for the breath that I breathe. You know, most times we walk around and we forget that we're actually breathing in oxygen, right? For those little things, thank you, because I'm alive. Even if your children, you teach them, even if they feel they're not where they should be, but in reality, they're not where they used to be and they have life. Thank you for life. The year is running off. You should be able to take a reflective look and see those things that you should be grateful for. Probably you should have a gratitude night in your home. Today's 30th. You can decide to have a gratitude night where you call every member of your family and you sit down. I don't know how you're going to do it. You may decide to have a bonfire night. You may do it over dinner. You may just decide to sit around your sitting room, everybody in their PJs, and you're just there. And you try to have a gratitude night where everybody says what they are grateful for. And you'll be shocked. There'll be so much to be grateful for. And when you begin to recount those blessings and those things you're grateful for, it just gives you a lot of energy that even when you're going through challenges, you have an understanding that if I am here, then there's this assurance that I can move forward. So you can have a gratitude night. Yes, gratitude night. That would be nice. That would be nice. Gratitude night. You know, when families usually have movie nights. Now I'm talking about gratitude night. Have a gratitude night. And you can decide to have it often in your home, where you just release on wonderful things that is happening at home. Okay, so now it's so important for us to know that there are various ways that you can imbibe the attitude of gratitude. Yes, and one of the ways is, you know, when we're talking about on SCP Online Conversations, remember that we always say parenting begins with you. So when we're talking, we're not just thinking of how to teach our children or inculcate in our children the value of gratitude. It begins with us as a parent, because when you as a parent can show gratitude, your children look at you and they know that, okay, this is the way I should live my life. So this is the pattern I should follow, and they take on gratitude for themselves. Now, what are the ways to imbibe the attitude of gratitude? Number one, let you write down things. Let you write down things you're grateful for. You know, when you take a pen and a paper, it brings a lot of intentionality into it. Most times when we can't think, somebody said, if you cannot think well, you can thank well. I think that should be Bishop Beautiful. If you can't think well, you can thank well. And when you take a paper and a pen and you sit down, it shows that you have entered thinking mood. And when you enter into thinking mode, you begin to think and you begin to remember all those things that you should be grateful for. And with your pen, your paper and your pen, you begin to write them down. I am grateful for life. I am grateful for health. I am grateful for my spouse. I am grateful for my children. I am grateful that my child in this academic session has moved, has improved. I am grateful for health. I am grateful. I am grateful. And as you begin to think, you begin to see a lot of things you should be grateful for. So one of the ways to imbibe the attitude of gratefulness or to imbibe the value of gratitude is to write things down. And when you write those things down, they just leave. It's like taking a record, and it gives you a boost of energy. Now, another thing you can do to imbibe the attitude of gratitude is to notice little things. Most times we're so carried away with the hustle and bustle of life that life just passes us by. When was the last time you came out in the night and you looked up into the sky and you saw the stars and the moon? When was the last time? I think it should be ages, because most times we're carried away with the work. We have to do this, we have to do that. To get home, you're tired. When was the last time you looked around and you just saw the trees dancing to the wind? Little things you can be grateful for. Little things. Or you looked at your child and you noticed that your child that used to be a little bit disorganized, that has a way of organizing their rooms. Little things around you. Little things. And you teach your children to be able to observe little things around them. And when you are able to do these things, you always have a reason to be grateful. To be grateful. The little things around you, very important. When you look around and wonder, what a beautiful world we're living in. I remember those days when I was growing up. I used to sit out of our house and I'm just looking to the sky. I didn't know how many of you just see that the clouds are moving, and sometimes it looks like the clouds are making different shapes, and sometimes you actually see Santa Claus in the cloud. Or you see like a man riding a horse in the cloud, just like the shapes. Maybe the imagination, but you begin to see the cloud, begin to make shapes and things. You just sit out there and you're wondering, and you're grateful. We need to find ways to be able to notice the little things around us. Notice love. Notice love. Those little show of love people give to you. Take time out to notice them. Somebody just calls you from somewhere just to check how you're doing, and you should be grateful. The little acts of love people show to you on a daily basis, the smiles that people give to you, notice them and be grateful for them. So notice the little things around you. Another way to imbibe the gratitude value is to walk the gratitude talk. What do I mean by walk the gratitude talk? Now, I'm going to go square on parents. Now, I always say here that one of the ways to teach your children is by modeling. Yes, you are a model to your children, and you're also a mentor to your children. Now, when I say walk the talk, I mean that as a parent that wants to actually teach your child to have the value of gratitude, you need to walk that road yourself. So you want your child to be more appreciative, you have to be more appreciative yourself. You want your child to be able to say thank you, you must be quick to say thank you yourself. For example, somebody does something for you, and your child is with you and notices that you don't even appreciate the person. And most of the times, maybe the person just brings something when you start complaining. But this is not what I wanted. But this is not up to my standard. But what does this person take me for? You have not even said thank you. And you find out that one day your child begins to do the same thing, and you're telling the child, are you not supposed to shout thanks? Are you not supposed to be appreciative? And you're wondering, who did that child pick it from? They saw you do something like that, and So you must walk the talk. Be quick to appreciate people. Don't bring people down. Be able to appreciate and say thank you. Thank you. It doesn't cost anything. So you as a parent must walk that road of gratitude. You must, even when your children do things for you, learn to say thank you. For example, you send your child on an errand and the child comes back. You should be able to say thank you. Yes. And I was saying, hey, my child now. Must I appreciate the child? Don't I pay the child's school fees? And so, you should be able to appreciate your children for little things. Your child becomes thoughtful and takes initiative to do something. You should be able to say, thank you. I saw what you did. That was amazing. Little acts of gratitude. So your children begins to pick out from after you and they begin to learn. So you must walk the talk. Walk the talk. Yes. Live the life. And they will copy after you. You should be able to appreciate your spouse also. For example, your spouse gets something for you. It may not be actually what you want, but you should be able to say thank you. Sometimes people get things for us that we actually do not need or we do not want. Doesn't mean we should not be appreciative first. We should appreciate, be thankful for it. Now, the next way you can imbibe the gratitude value is to voice gratitude. Voice gratitude. You can't say that I am grateful in my heart. We are not in your heart. We can't see your heart. You must be able to voice out gratitude. Say thank you. Most times as parents, I don't know whether the word is it pride? You can't say thank you. And like parents some parents find people to say, I am sorry. For what? You must be able to voice out gratitude. Don't say I am grateful in my heart, so God knows I am grateful in my heart. Who is seeing your heart? You should be able to say thank you. Voice it out. Show appreciation. Don't keep it inside. We cannot see it. We can't. You must be able to voice it out. Be quick to say thank you with your mouth. Let your thankfulness that wells up within your heart be translated into words that people can hear. That is where it makes a difference. Don't say that I'm appreciating my child though. In my heart, my child knows I appreciate them. Does the child hear it? Do they hear it? So you must learn to show appreciation verbally. Now, there's other ways you can show appreciation. You can show appreciation by your actions, but the truth is that you must learn to say it verbally. It's just like when you say you love someone. Now, there are various actions to show love, but one of the ways you can really convey that you love someone is to say, I love you. It doesn't take anything. Okay. So, now, how do we make gratitude a part of our families? Let me give you some suggestions. I already said one already, and that's have a gratitude night. Yes, have a gratitude night. And it would be nice if you can have a gratitude night, seriously. So one of the other practical ways you can have or incorporate gratitude into your family, the practice as part of your family, is to have a gratitude jar. Jar, that's a Jar. Have a gratitude jar. So you can look for a jar, a container. You can make it look very beautiful. So it's very attractive and it allows you to be able to drop things inside. So you can have a gratitude jar, you put it where everyone can see in the house. And everyone maybe you can decide to have like paper, piece of paper, just sizable, just not so big, where people can write on. And they can actually pick papers maybe every day and they just write what they're grateful for and they drop it into the gratitude jar. So probably before you know, the gratitude jar becomes, you see a lot of papers, it starts to fill up, and you decide maybe on a particular day, maybe the day you have a family meeting, or the day you may have a gratitude night, and you decide to bring out every piece of paper inside, and you read out what you're grateful for. So you can share the sheets of paper, the piece of paper to every member of the family, and everybody reads something. And you'll be shocked. You know what it does for you? It energizes you. So even if you're going through a downtime in your home and you see some things that has happened, amazing things that has taken place that you're grateful for, it just energizes you to move forward. So you can have a gratitude jar in your home. You can also have a gratitude journal. Now, it can be like a book, a beautiful book that everybody wants to write on. When you see some journals or some books, you're in a hurry to write in them. So you can have like a gratitude journal. You can put it somewhere that every member of the family can see. It can be maybe at the entrance. Once they come into the house, they just see the gratitude journal there, so people can just write. Or you put it somewhere, maybe in the shelf, but somewhere that is conspicuous to every one member of the family. And so everybody writes something they are grateful for. And as you're writing, you're reading. And you decide on a particular day, okay, we're going to read this out so everybody hears. And everybody can hold their hands and maybe sing songs and be appreciated. You can imagine the aura that you create in your family, the connection when you do such activities together. So that's one practice you can imbibe in your family. Another you can do is to share your gratitude. Remember I said voice gratitude. You can decide to share your gratitude during dinner. So probably during dinner, everybody's hands. So what are you grateful for today, or what you're thankful for? Begin share during dinner. In the movie, you decide to ask, okay, so what are we grateful for? You can even be driving your children to school and you ask them, what are you grateful for? And you just begin to speak up. Every opportunity is an opportunity to have conversations. It's an opportunity to impact your children. It's an opportunity to be a mentor and a model to your children. So you can have that. Another is that you can write a letter. Now you can write a letter to your child, showing them how grateful you are to have them as your child. Now, as parents, be grateful for the child you have, not the child you wished you had. The one you have, be grateful for that child. The child may not have gotten to the point where you want that child to be, or may not be the child you envisage the child to be. But you have to be grateful for the child you have, and not for the child you wished or you think you should have. So you can write a letter to your child. I'm grateful for having you as my child. You're special to me. You're amazing. I am thankful for that little thing you did yesterday. I noticed that you took out the trash. Thank you so much for being helpful in the house. Thank you so much for rendering support in the house. Thank you for helping your younger sibling with the assignment. When you thank your child, you're sure the child will do more. People say that when you appreciate people is an opportunity to ask for more for them to do more. So you can write a letter. You can also write a letter to people that you're thankful to, and people that have done things for you that probably you have told them thank you, but you just want to express it more. You can decide to write it as a note, a gift to them. So there are various ways you can incorporate the practice of gratitude in your home. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is the benefits. What are the benefits of incorporating the value of gratitude? A longer lifespan. Now, it has been scientifically proven that being grateful can add up to 7 years to your life. Eh? When you're thinking, I will live long. Long life is my portion. One of the ways to actually live long is to be grateful and thankful. You know, when you're being thankful, it creates a positive attitude around you. So there's nothing that's bringing you down. You see the positivity in everything that comes around you. So when you have the grateful attitude, everything around you, you look for something in it to be thankful for. There's always something in every phase of your life to be thankful for. There's always something in every phase or every challenge to be thankful for. And that is what you should teach your children, and that's the life you should live. Teaching your children gratitude is a great place to start if you'd like your children to outlive you. So teach them to be grateful. When you are thankful, it makes you smile, it makes you laugh. Nothing. You remember what I said scientifically? Research showed that children that are grateful tend not to enter into depression. So you're living a life of positivity. You're smiling, you're laughing, and it makes you look younger. You know, it takes lesser muscles to smile and to laugh than to frown. And when you keep laughing and smiling, it makes you look younger. But you don't think so? Okay. Now, another benefit of having a value of gratitude is that grateful children are less stressed. Grateful children are less stressed. Now, it is rare for a grateful person to allow negative thoughts to take over their entire life. Now, negative thoughts usually causes stress. Now, when you're thinking negativity or you're thinking that, oh, it stresses you out. But when you think positive thoughts, it gives you a sense of freedom. It makes you know that all things are possible. And you're grateful for the opportunity to even think positive thoughts, to have a sane mind. It's more easy to be thankful. So when you raise grateful children, it makes them to be less stressed. So a child goes through a challenge, they probably didn't score so well in their maybe their academics in an examination, but you have taught your child to be grateful in every situation. So the child looks at the situation and say, no, no, no. I won't be depressed. I won't feel so bad. I won't let myself go down. The child becomes grateful, even for the opportunity to write their exams. The child is grateful for the opportunity to be able to sit for their exams. The child is grateful for the child knowing that I have another opportunity to write it again. The child is thankful. Do you know? Because the child knows that's not the end of the world. Failure is not the end of life. When a child fails or you fail as an individual, it's an opportunity to try again. It's not the end of life. Now, a lot of things may have happened in 2024, but it looked like, oh God, I have failed. No, you have not failed. In that situation, look for a reason to be thankful. You are here. Opportunity to try again in 2025. So your parenting journey, it may look like I have tried so hard. I have failed. I've not been able to connect with my child. I've not been able to do that. You haven't failed. You just have another opportunity to try again. And it's in trying that we get to the point of achievement of being successful. So what's another benefit? Children that are grateful tend to be resilient. A child with a grateful attitude will get through all those easier than the parents that are not grateful. They'll be thankful. They'll be thankful. I was saying something about academics. A child may not do so well in this academic section, but because the child has the value of gratitude, the child is thankful that even though I may not have performed to where I expected to perform, I have done better than where I used to be. Gratitude. And when they do that, they have a healthy self-esteem because nothing can bring them down. Nothing brings you down when you see a reason to be thankful in every situation because you know that is not the end of your life. Because you have an awareness of who you are, your identity. As parents, we must inculcate the gratitude value in ourselves and in our children. Every family must be run by values because it determines the way you behave in your home, it determines your culture, it determines the way you speak, it determines the way you act, it determines the way you dress, it determines the friends you keep. Values are critical. Values are critical. So we're gradually wrapping up this conversation. I promise that it's not going to be a long conversation today. It's the time where we should spend more time with our families. The year is rounding up, so I do not intend to stretch our conversation for today. Now, there are certain things that are some quotes I would like to read out for us to hear. Now, Princess Diana said something that family is the most important thing in the world. And Michael J. Fox said, and took it a little bit further by saying, family is not the most important thing, it's everything. Everything. There's something I always say on this when we have this conversation is that you must always give time to your family. You have 30th and 31st. Give time to your family. And it doesn't even have to end with 31st. So you person do yes, okay, oh, I'm not doing it again. It's a continuous thing. He said family is not just the most important thing. Family is everything. Everything. Supports. Everything. So you must give attention to your family. In this season, give attention to your family. Don't get carried away with all the excitement in the air and you forget to spend time with family. Family is the essential cell of human society. That was said by Pope John. Yes. Pope John the 23rd. Family is the first essential cell of the human society. You know what cell is? In biology, cell is the simplest basic structural unit of life. So from cells, when cells come together, they form tissues. When tissues come together, they form organs. When organs come together, they form a system. But everything starts from a cell. So when you have something like circulatory system, you have the respiratory system, it starts from a cell. the simplest, basic, structural unit of life, the cell. And he likened it that the family is the first essential cell of the human society. So if we get it right in our families, we're going to have an amazing society. We're going to have an amazing system. We can't joke with our families. We can't mortgage our families for a lot of things. Family is priority. We're privileged and we should be thankful for having family. Some people are looking for family and not see you. You should be privileged for family. You may say, my family, my family. You know what? Be thankful for family. Be thankful for your children. Be thankful that you even had the opportunity to be married for your spouse. You have a marriage, be thankful. You have a child, be thankful. You have life, be thankful. You have food on your table, be thankful. It may not look like you have all the things you need to celebrate this holiday season, but be thankful for what you have. So important. Now, grateful people are not just people that it looks like in their lives there are no challenges or they don't go through ups and downs. They're just people that understand, that see life in a different perspective. That's the difference. So it's not like grateful people that they don't have challenges, they don't have ups and downs, but their perspective to life is different. See differently. I think that's one of the greatest advice that I'll give in rounding up this conversation. See differently. See life differently. See your children differently. Don't see them based on the way they are behaving right now. Every behavior is funded by something. See them differently. Take away the behavior from the child. See differently. Don't see your marriage just the way it is. See differently. Perspective. When you see, the way you see things will determine how you act towards it. So see differently. It's very important. What you see as you wrap up 2024 and enter into 2025 will go a lot or a long way to shape how your parenting journey will be in 2025. So see differently. Those things that it looks like there's no reason to be thankful, see differently, and you find that there are a lot of reasons to be thankful. See differently. So, family isn't defined only by last names, by blood. It's defined by commitments and by love. Family is not only defined by last names and by blood ties, it is defined by commitments and love. So in this season, show commitment to your family, show love. And love is an action word. It has to be acted. Love is a verb. You must act that. Love is not passive. You say it, you act it, you do it, you live it, you exercise it. So show commitment and love to your family. Inculcate the attitude of gratitude this season. Be grateful. Like I said, have a gratitude night. Have a gratitude journal. Have a gratitude journal if you want to. Have times where you verbalize gratitude. Hold hands together as a family. Sing songs of appreciation. Thank God for the gift of life. Thank God for the opportunity to be a parent. I say it on this platform, parenting is to be a parent is a privilege. And you are a steward. Nobody owns a child. You don't own your child. You're just a caretaker. Be grateful for that responsibility that's been given to you to mold a life to become a life changing. So, we've come to the end of today's conversation. Straight to the point, brief, so that I have said we should spend time with family, so we'll have time to spend with our family. Now, School of Parenting, I'm grateful to every one of you that has been with us throughout this year from January to now, that have come online for our conversations, that have dropped comments, that have shared our flyers, that even attended the workshop for this year. Thank you, everyone. I am so grateful for those of you that support School of Parenting, those of you that go to our page, those of you that like our posts. Thank you so much. Without you, I will not be here. Without you, School of Parenting will not be here. Thank you very much. And I pray that this, as the year wraps up, that you enter into 2025 expecting an amazing parenting journey. You have to do things differently. What did Mike Murdoch said? It is insanity to do things over and over again and expect a different result. see differently from today into 2025. It's so amazing. I love you all. It has been an amazing year for every one of us. It has been an amazing year for School of Parenting. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna see you in 2025. I'm gonna come more loaded with more conversations. If you have, like I always say, if you have topics you think we should have conversations on, you can send me a DM. Yes. If you have questions, if you have testimonies of how School of Parenting Online Conversation has been a blessing to you from January till now, you can also send me a DM. Thank you, everyone.